opponent, fighting out of the red corner, 22 wins, 6 losses, weighing in at 170 and 1/2 pounds. In Ireland, presenting champion and the former UFC lightweight champion, the one, the only, the notorious Conor
Have been over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch goes now for 1. The sound of the bell. Come on out. Handle your business. Let's go.
They are all standing inside a sold-out T-Mobile Arena. Some fans wondered aloud if this would ever happen. Conor McGregor is back. And man, does he have a chance. McGregor back to the proving ground. McGregor trying to get off to a fast start as it brings.
Keeps falling. Conor fell twice trying to throw those kicks.
Oh, good right hand from Holloway.
It's
30
like
seconds.
he's slipping around a bit on the mat.
Oh, there's a third slip.
What's going on with his leg?
Holloway's looking at the referee because he feels as though McGregor maybe is injured.
Oh, he threw a kick.
Maybe he blew out his knee.
Yes. When he threw the first kick, when he jumped and threw that first kick, back it up to the first one. Watch when he jumped in the very first kick that he threw. When he ran out, he jumped up to throw it and blew out his right knee.
Are you kidding me?
Let's watch it from the very beginning. Watch it again. Take it from the beginning of the fight, please. You can see he runs. Watch this. So as he steps forward, watch this. He steps. Now watch his right leg. He steps on it, and right there.
Oh, yep. You can see it already.
Right
Yep,
there.
you can see it in his face. You saw it. You saw it in his.
How does this one end?
It's going to be a demolition. It's going to be an absolute demolition. I know
The way he says that smiling is so psychotic.
damage he's taken. I know I will just have to touch him. And after that, it will be clinical. So to win alone is not just enough. It must be spectacular, and that it will be.
Okay, wow, no send-off there. The interview just stops. That's kind of a paramount. Get your shit together. But you heard it there at the end. Max has taken a lot of damage. All I need to do is touch him, and I agree with him. I know, I'm the same guy that said this is going to be a really tough matchup for Conor, and it will be. Conor's undersized at 170, but he's also already faced Max, and he also already knows what Max is susceptible to, and does somewhat better when guys are high-volume strikers that don't have a ton of power in their hand. And yes, I do believe that there's a different version of both guys that are fighting. Conor is not the old Conor in good and bad ways, and Max is not the old Max in good and bad ways. I think Max's advantages are his volume, his gas tank. He has weaponized pace and cardio that Conor, it's very difficult for him to keep up the same pace and cardio for 5 rounds. I think Conor obviously has the speed. I think he has...
We'll see.
But yeah, I guess the other part too. Like if Max goes in there and puts a beating on him, is this the last time you see Conor? I mean, I doubt it. I suspect he'll try and like find another way to keep this train on the tracks. But like, what if he goes in there?
That's a great point.
Like shit, you know.
That's a great point because is he the type of personality? Now he has lost, and he lost devastatingly to Dustin Poirier in the way, but there was an injury. If he just gets outworked, knocked out, just outworked, like. Can he live with that? Like, that's the thing. I'm like, is he gonna be like, no? Now we're gonna see Conor want to turn around and come back in there quicker, within months, that type of thing, because he just doesn't want to live with that. That'd be interesting to see too. I
think he wins. I do think he wins. I do think there's a lot of questions about how McGregor, like his lifestyle outside the cage, and then being able to train, being able to juggle everything, and again, like going back to what Marvin Hagler said back in the day, man, it's hard to get up and run whenever you're sleeping in silk pajamas, so like how much is he really going out there and training? How much is he really just putting up for show? We won't know until the fight, and I like my chances with Holloway again. He's been way more active. He's been in the gym. And especially even in his last fight, he didn't take much damage. So for me, I'm thinking it's more of a Holloway win. And again, also he's one of my favorite fighters. So I'm definitely going Holloway. But if I'm looking at it from the outside perspective, there is that X factor of Conor McGregor coming at actually like better. But again, in MMA, the older you get, like it's usually a slow decline. And the way he looked his past couple, I'm not 100% sold on McGregor right now, so I'm going home.
Now, apparently he's sobered up, but still, you know, he's done a lot of damage to his body in the time that he's been away from the sport. And I do think that in this matchup, dude, we're going to see Max Holloway go out there, survive the early storm from McGregor, eat the titanium shin bone, and yeah, I think he's going to knock out Conor McGregor in the 3rd round. So I'm going to be picking Max Holloway to knock out Conor McGregor in round number 3. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I do want to say this now. I'm not going to be doing a live fight companion for the card. I'm going to be going
out. I think with McGregor being at 170, I think he'll be a little bit more durable. I think he's been heavy for a while. The fact that he doesn't have to cut the extra weight, I think is a big advantage for Conor McGregor in this fight. McGregor may be slower, but again, he won't have to cut as much weight. Holloway is fighting at 170 for the first time. Is any of that power going to translate? I don't think Holloway has a lot of power to begin with. If you look at most of Holloway's wins, they are by decision, right? You look at it there, Poirier decision. Gaethje was a 5th round finish. And let's be honest, Gaethje kind of gave that away with the pointing to the ground and, you know, his nose was broken. So that led to him getting the knockout. Korean Zombie shortly retired after this win in 2023, or not shortly retired, only a couple more fights later. Then he ended up retiring. But look at this, Arnold Allen decision. Yair decision, Cater decision, should have pretty much finished Cater in that fight. I'll give him credit for that. But Holloway mainly does not finish his opponents. You have to go all the way back to like the Aldo fights where he's able to finish him, but typically he's not much of a finisher. Now, McGregor could get really tired in this fight. We've seen him have cardio issues and slow down, and maybe Holloway gets a TKO finish. I certainly could see that happening, but I think the big thing here for Holloway is just winning the fight, and I could see him being a little bit more conservative, maybe not trying to go for broke as much, knowing that McGregor still does have...
With the MMA world preparing itself for the likely clash between Conor McGregor and Max Holloway, there is no doubt that experts have had their differing views as to what the fight would entail. Whereas some feel that Conor has precision, timing, and the deadly left hand, which makes him a live player against any opponent. Others feel that it will be his cardio and toughness that will completely suffocate Conor in the 5-round period of the fight. Across the board, pro fighters and analysts are leaning into one big question. Can Conor land clean early, or does Max take over as the fight drags on?
I think win, lose, or draw, we get a very, very good version of Conor. I think Max is the perfect matchup. There is no perfect matchup that's taking a 5-year layoff. But again, this is in boxing, so there's no warm-up. So to come back to be the caliber of star that Conor is, there's no warm-ups. You're going to get a tough fight. Out of all the tough fights, all of them are tough. He'd be an underdog in every single one except for Michael Chandler, but that's not a big enough name to come back after a 5-year layoff. So that's why they're not doing it. But for all the tough matchups, stylistically, and this is crazy, I know, the safest matchup they could give him is Max Holloway after a 5-year layoff. Not a knockout artist, but he does have the capabilities and the footwork to embarrass you over 5 rounds, and you get beat up. But the chance of you ending up face down, ass up aren't that good unless they do the point down thing, which has been played out so many times now, and they just throw caution to the wind. So it's kind of set up for Conor, you know, and what's on the line for him is, again, financially and also for his legacy. Financially, though, he beats, let's go through the scenario. If he beats Max Holloway, well, then in order to fight for a title or to get that next big matchup, which will be for sure be before April 2027, he'll get a title shot. Guarantee it, they offer him.
Just like most other UFC competitors who have expressed their opinion on this Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway rematch, Jamahal Hill finds it challenging to predict the outcome of this match. For instance, Hill initially found it difficult to pick a winner in favor of Holloway based on one single thing: activity. As per Hill, Max is actively fighting the best opponents in the sport, whereas McGregor has been out of action for some time now. According to him, this is a big edge for Max going into the match as compared to Conor. Nonetheless, Hill did state that being involved in the welterweight category would be of help to McGregor in the upcoming contest. Even with the acknowledgement of McGregor's expertise in the welterweight division, Hill wasn't prepared to make his selection for him. This is because there was still so much about McGregor that was not known after so long a time out of competition, Hill explained. All fans will just have to wait and see what kind of notorious they get come fight night. Ultimately, Hill did make his choice and predicted that it would be a knockout victory for Max Holloway.
It's a good fight. It's kind of hard to say who I think. I would have to go with Max having that edge because he's been more active. Connor hasn't been active. They're fighting at 170, so that does give Connor an edge because he's fought at 170 before, and Connor hasn't. I mean, and Max hasn't. But just we're gonna have to see.
Angelo Bodetti was extremely confident that Conor McGregor would lose to Max Holloway. He said McGregor has no chance in hell because of everything working against him, including a 5-year layoff, the serious leg injury, and the fact that he's now much older than when he was at his best. Bodetti argued that McGregor's game was always built around speed and timing rather than cardio, and after such a long absence, he doesn't expect those weapons to be the same. He also pointed to the careers of Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman after similar leg injuries, saying neither fighter ever returned to their previous level.
Why Conor McGregor has no chance in hell to win this fight. He just doesn't. 5 years ago, Conor broke his leg. I sat here in this chair and I said, Conor McGregor will never fight again. And I said it from my chest.
Hey, how lucky did you get that he didn't fight Michael Chandler? Because he would have fucking smoked Michael Chandler.
Well, now we know that.
Like, holy shit. Like that, you made that video. Like, obviously it wasn't that video, but me and you are you put $1,000 on Michael Chandler, and I put $2,000 on Conor. And looking back at that, oh my God, dude, he would have fucking smoked Michael Chandler. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I sat in the chair and I said, Conor McGregor will never fight again. And then the Conor McGregor documentary took that clip and they mixed it with a bunch of other clips, but then they kept the audio and they used it throughout the documentary as like here's his comeback trail. And to Jacob's point, 2 years ago, I almost looked pretty stupid on that claim because he signed up to fight Michael Chandler.
We had tickets.
Jacob bought me tickets. I have right here. I'm not going to get it because it's all the way up.
Bodetti continued by explaining why he doesn't believe McGregor can beat Holloway, even if fans are hoping for a miracle. He said Holloway's durability, pace, and experience make him a terrible matchup for this version of McGregor. While he admitted McGregor always carries knockout power, he believes his speed has declined and his cardio was never elite, even during his prime. Because of that, Bodetti expects Holloway to survive the early danger, take control as the fight progresses, and eventually finish McGregor.
I genuinely do not think Conor McGregor has a chance in hell. He is coming off a 5-year layoff. He is 38 years old. Even in Conor McGregor's almost prime, let's say when he beat Nate Diaz the second time, if you took that version of Conor, that exact version, and he fought Max, that version of Conor would lose. Conor McGregor has never had great cardio. What he had was speed and timing. And you know what? 5 years away, 38 years old, you lose your speed, you lose your timing. Conor McGregor is not winning this fight. Not coming back after that leg break. The two most notable times that injury has happened was to Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman. Anderson Silva, that happened to him at basically the height of his career. And he just went on to nosedive. He had one win after that, like 4 losses. Chris Weidman, same exact shit. Came back, looked awful against Brad Tavares, had to eye poke his way to a win against Bruno Silva, and then looked awful against Eric Anders. Conor McGregor is not bucking that trend. Conor McGregor is not coming back and shocking the world. Conor McGregor is the reason the sport is as big as it is right now.
Michael Bisping has clearly made his prediction. He sees it fitting that Holloway gets his hand raised by the time the bell rings to end the fight. However, he believes that McGregor will pose a very dangerous threat at the beginning of the fight. As Bisping says, in case of any upset, it has to be achieved through a knockout. The reason behind his assumption is that McGregor has always been the type who starts off explosively and tapers off as the fight goes on. Moreover, being 5 years away from his prime does not mean McGregor will suddenly develop better stamina. Later in the discussion, Bisping made his prediction and declared, "I'm going to pick Max," adding that a small part of him would love to witness the mess caused by a possible win for McGregor. Though he recognized how tough and experienced Holloway was, he admitted that McGregor could knock out his opponents, which could mean anything can happen. However, Bisping ultimately went with Holloway as the likely victor. Curtis Blaydes made his prediction using motivation and not skill alone. Blaydes asked whether McGregor has the same fire that has been making him a champion, noting that it is hard for one to think that McGregor puts in many hours practicing in the gym in order to compete at such high levels. Blaydes noted that he might be wrong, but he thinks that Max Holloway is just a hungrier fighter than McGregor at this stage in his career. Blaydes noted that Holloway is just a more driven fighter, and this will make him win the fight. According to Adrian Yanez, the key reason why Max Holloway can beat Conor McGregor is that there are still many doubts regarding McGregor's dedication outside the cage. In particular, Yanez mentioned the way McGregor lives and wondered if McGregor continues devoting time to training as it is necessary to fight at the highest level. Using Marvin Hagler's quote on how it is hard to be motivated when you become rich and successful, Yanez asked if McGregor still has the same motivation that helped him reach success. Although nobody will know for sure until the fight takes place, this question pushed Yanez to favor Holloway. Another significant factor that Yanez pointed out was the recent activity of Holloway as an important strength. He mentioned that Holloway has been active, has kept himself in shape in the gym, and managed to come out of his previous fight with almost no damage done to him, thus giving him a good momentum for this fight. Even though he recognized that there will be an X factor in McGregor that can influence the fight positively in any way, Yanez thinks that age and recent results make him less competitive than before. For Brendan Schaub, McGregor's biggest strength is what people usually consider his weakness, the 5-year break. Schaub noted that while Max Holloway was busy fighting in the UFC, he also received a lot of punishment during those years. Max Holloway holds the record for significant strikes landed and taken. However, Conor McGregor got enough time to heal from the injury he sustained that broke his leg, which left him free from getting punished inside the octagon. However, regardless of all these points, Schaub failed to assert that something catastrophic was waiting for McGregor. On the contrary, he went on to say that no matter the result of this fight, McGregor will appear to be a fighter anyway, and further added that he considers this particular opponent to be a good choice amongst the finest fighters for returning to the sport. However, the point is that although Holloway can easily eliminate any fighter within the first 5 rounds owing to his speed and quickness, Schaub has said that he lacks the capability to knock him down in one shot. At the end of the day, the predictions around Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway all circle back to one thing: pace versus precision. If Conor finds his rhythm early, lands that sharp left hand, and controls the distance, he absolutely has a path to victory. But if Max Holloway survives those early exchanges, the fight starts shifting into very dangerous territory for Conor. The volume, pressure, and endurance Max brings over 5 rounds have broken elite fighters before, and that's exactly why so many pros are leaning his way in the later rounds. Still, you can't count Conor out completely because of his ability to change a fight in a single moment. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Does Conor land early, or does Max take over late?